have right now. You are the place, my only hope. Yeah, just like the flowers that blew and fall with me over and over again. Oh, I'm barely breathing and feeling to that ground. But each and every time we all stand up, stop like to yourself and me, true to yourself, and that might be we both can exceed destiny. So let's
stay sharp. We're going in.
so much for talking it out. Bring it out!
Hear my call!
Dragon form! Fire support!
Dance in the wind!
You're mine! You're finished! Listen! Dragon form! Good shot! Eat ya!
Nicely done.
Hi, Hoodle!
Engaging! Dragon stop!
Let's shot! Raging
Sonic thrust! Long down!
see what I can do. If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Fire
I
support!
never miss.
Flaming meteor!
Confiscated.
Take this! Dragon Sword! Make it rain! Remove!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
On guard. Lunar corruption.
Denied! It's over!
Lunar blast. Lightning orb.
Come on.
Raging shield. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble!
Don't get complacent.
No choice! Now you'll learn!
Flame of fury.
Burn! You're mine! Dragon Form! I won't show you any mercy!
This one's mine! Thanks, Shion. This one's mine!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Take this!
Annihilation.
Tiger Blade! I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is part of your everyday. Dispose of the trash.
Now you'll learn!
Now you see what I can do!
They really don't give up, do they?
Take this! Tiger Blade!
More where that came from.
You're mine! Dragon Form!
In the sky, it's mine.
Denied!
Ready. Gemini off.
This one's mine! On guard! This is it!
You're mine!
Dance in the wind. Burning strike.
This one's mine!
No escape!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
That enemy looks strong. I bet it'll be worth a...
We're in for a long slog with this one.
You're my lord! This one's all mine! Not today! Damn it!
Confiscated.
Take down their defenses! I see what it was!
Wind astral energy.
It's over!
In here.
Its armor's too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Tiger Blade!
Make it pay! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Glacial Spear!
Here I come!
On guard!
I'll be saving you.
Seems about right to me. Stay sharp. We're going in.
What's with that shining foe over there? I have a bad
Feeling about this.
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine! Take this! Tiger Blade!
I'll have to take my revenge on you!
Oh my lord! I owe you one. We got flyers.
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Strong. Then I'll split it open. We did it!
Leave the
Take
torch
this!
to me! Mega Ray!
You're finished!
This one's mine!
Do it! That's my deal!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Here's a healing arc!
They're also interrupted!
You're finished!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malachite!
Here I go!
This one's
Out the
mine!
way!
Here I come!
Arc Steel! Not on my watch!
Burn it out! I'll smash you! My steel line!
Lightning Horn!
Eternal devastation! We're not finished!
This one is mine!
In here!
Appreciate the help.
Loads in the stockpile!
Tiger Blade!
Mega Ray! Dance in the wind!
Tiger Blade!
I can feel my power growing!
Looks like some solid equipment.
Do my best!
Engaging!
This one's mine!
Going in!
Thunder field!
Did you see this coming?
I'm the true gunslinger around here! Annihilation!
Fire support! Make it rain!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Water!
Anything
hear
in
my
armor is
call.
all mine! I'll smash you!
Tiger
Blade!
Freeze Lancer!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Even if Danans and Renans aren't on completely equal footing here. Both sides still cared about each other, and now we have to fight some of those same Renans inside the palace.
Don't forget, we're here fighting to keep what makes this realm so special alive. Don't lose hope, Kisara.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Far enough!
Here I come! It's over! This is all mine! I'm going in! Damn it!
My watch!
Take this! Tiger Blade!
You're mine! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Here I come! Its armor's too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
Going in! Take this! Tiger Blade! Going in!
You're finished! You're mine! Eternal devastation!
This one's mine!
You're finished!
Tiger Blade! Mine! I feel sprightlier than before.
Did that finally get rid of the wall?
To think they would hide it in Lord Dohalim's personal quarters. The nerve of the... these people.
They won't get away with it for much longer.
That's right. We have to hurry to the Lord's chamber. Let's go.
Well, well, if it isn't the slaves and the traitor. I don't remember giving you permission to enter the palace.
So it's true. You really are the one behind all this, Kelzelik.
I don't remember giving you permission to speak either. Know your place, slave.
Now we see his true colors.
Yeah, a despicable excuse for a human being. Though really, I guess that makes him pretty ordinary, huh?
Kelzelik, you were Lord Dohalim's most trusted advisor. His closest ally. Why would you betray him?
Don't be a fool. I didn't serve him because I wanted to. I expect a mere slave would know, but there are many powerful contenders for the position of Lord. A contest of strength determines the one who will be Lord and undisputed ruler of a realm. There is no choice in the selection. If my master had any ambitions of becoming the sovereign, I would have gladly served him.
But he had no intention of fighting for the crown.
Indeed. Can you slaves even imagine how that looked to the rest of us? Enduring the whims of an ambitionless lord, all we could do was wait for the end as we suffered through our humiliation.
You want suffering? Try being Danon for a day.
So you plotted against Lord Dohalim in secret. And when my brother found out...
And I would do it all again if it meant returning Menancia to its rightful state! A realm where Danons are slaves and Renans their masters. It's the natural order.
Enough! Who are you to decide what is natural or rightful, traitor? Miguel, my brother. He dreamed of building a world free of suffering. He gave his life for that dream. And all you've managed to build is a lake of death! You killed my brother. And now you'll die for it! Brother's dead because of you!
Why should I concern myself with the passing of one pathetic slave?
Have you no shame?
Quiver Dragon!
You're mine!
Careful! By the head butterfly!
What's this?
Mega Ray!
Ribbon head! Hit a word!
Here I come! No escape! It's total devastation!
You're done!
Gemini Wind Astral Energy!
Ready to go! Solo dance!
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
Now I'm in the groove!
Lightning Storm! Radiant Cascade! Water! Hear my call!
Take this!
Talon Storm!
Dragon
Here
Swarm!
goes! Not on my watch!
You're mine!
Into the center field!
Swarm on! I owe you one. I'm not done!
Here! Marksman handled this. I'll be saving this one.
It vanished again?
Listen carefully and keep your eyes peeled.
Not today! You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Talon Hurricane! Anything in armor is all mine!
Swallow Blade! You're finished!
Here, let me help. Here goes!
Dragon Swarm!
In here! I'll cover you.
I'll finish you here and now!
No escape! Dragon Tap!
This wall! More... That healing
Here we go again! No escape!
I really owe you one!
Dragon Swarm!
Big blast!
Cycle. I'm only getting started. I want to be Raging Cascade!
You're mine!
In here! Circle!
Dragon Swarm!
More for the stop!
I really owe you one!
Magic and
roll now.
Stop! Burning Conquer!
Burn! I'm not done!
Talon Storm! Raging Cascade!
Dragon Swarm!
Flame of Breath!
Swallow Blade! Take it! Dragon Swarm!
Searing Flame! Close! Reload!
Rolling snap!
This one's mine! This one's mine!
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Eternal devastation! Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Ready and ready! I can carve through armor!
Do it!
River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
Water, hear my call!
Talon Storm!
No escape!
Shining Supernova!
Talon
Raging Cascade!
Swallow Blade!
Dragon!
Breath!
You're mine!
I'm ready! Crush! Rolling snap!
This one's all mine!
By the power of water!
It's gonna attack!
Right, one down!
No escape! Dragon Swarm!
Here, let me help!
Eat this! Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Demons descend! Flashing bang!
Here, let me help!
Here we go again!
In here!
First strike!
I'll be safe!
Coming through! Ha! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning condemns! Here's a healing arc! Thunderblade!
Thanks.
Now for something
I'll
special!
finish you here and now!
Ray! Eagle! Annihilation! Confiscated! Back into the fray!
Strike!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine!
Dragon Kill! Do it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I'm all stuffed up!
Go again!
Take this! Move it! Kick!
Dance in the
I
wind!
can carve through armor!
Annihilation!
Dragon Swarm!
In here!
Big blast!
Light ass!
Kim! An astral art?
That's my cue!
I'm down.
Back into the fray!
I'm on it!
Here, let me this. One's mine. I never miss.
Here I come! Dragon Swarm!
I'm just getting
This
I'm almost impressed.
High praise coming from you.
I said almost. Don't get carried away.
Look sharp, everyone!
I will heal you all.
This should do it!
Lunar corruption.
Take this!
Lunar blast.
Dragon Swarm!
Raging storm.
Eternal devastation!
First aid.
Now I'm real mad!
I'll cover you.
This should do it!
Recover.
I owe you one. Dragon Swarm!
Lightning condemned.
Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
Thunderblade.
Strike!
Thank you.
I'm just getting started!
Lightning. Here's the dance in the wind.
Take this! You're finished!
Water. Here's my cry. Spread. Raging storm. More where that came from.
Eat this! All here. Come to an end.
Too much!
Let you all
This
down.
should do it! Stay away from... My friend!
Bring us back from death to this.
Dragon Swarm!
Lightning condemned. Resuscitation. Thunderblade.
This should...
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Razor Cyclone.
This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight! Swallow Blade!
Ready.
First strike!
I'll fix you up.
I'll end you!
Strike!
Recover.
Thanks!
I'm
on a roll now.
Thunderblade. Lightning. Here, let me help.
Tectonic punch!
Here I come! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
You filthy slaves are despicable!
Your dreams of attaining lordship are no more. Give up, Kelzelik.
Attaining lordship! Ridiculous! Only those who possess a master core can become a lord. What, did you think just anyone could do it?
But then, what were you trying to accomplish with this? Didn't you betray your lord?
Yes, that's true. However, there are other lords.
Other lords? So you mean...
At last, the truth is revealed.
Dohalim, where have you been this whole time?
Cleaning up. Kelzelik, you've made your last of these.
The fruit of Helgen?
It can't be. You found my production facility?
Correct. And I tore it down. But something still troubles me.
It's clear that this is no ordinary fruit. Nor was the equipment used to grow it. You couldn't have done all this without outside assistance. Indeed. Something like this must have come from another realm. Tsar, perhaps?
You actually expect me to talk now? At this point, the contest for the crown will be over soon enough, and you will finally receive the punishment you deserve for your weakness.
I've already received my punishment. May this be my final act as the Lord of Elda Menencia. Go to Mahag Sar, Ganeth Haros, wherever you think you'll find a suitable lord.
Are you alright with this? He killed your brother after all.
He did. But then I thought, he's nothing more than one common, ordinary Renin. He's not worthy of my time or my anger, right?
So after everything, was the dream of coexisting just a dream?
What is that?
Those are the cheers of the brave Danans who overpowered Kelzelik's forces.
Wait, they challenged the Renans?
Indeed. A militia made up of Danan guardsmen, Renin supporters, and of course, the Gold Dust Cats.
Do we have you to thank for bringing them all together?
Regardless of what your original motivations were, your dream of coexistence saved countless lives. And now, those people out there are fighting to keep that dream alive. That's something real.
Be that as it may, they do so now by their own hands. These people no longer need any lord.
Where are you going?
To put an end to the crown contest. So long as its madness persists, peace will remain ever out of reach. I cannot allow it to continue.
The crown contest impacts far more than just the Danans. You're choosing to fight Lenegis and the entire Empire.
I am well aware. However, if I wish to keep this dream from dying, then I have little choice in the matter. Besides, it's the least I can do.
So you're gonna go out there and make that dream real on your own?
You may be decided on your path, but that doesn't make it any less difficult.
Why not walk that road with us?
Pardon?
You heard me. We're fighting to liberate the Danans. You're fighting for the people of this realm. I'd say we're on the same path, really. It would only make sense for us to walk it together.
Side with a Renin lord? Not the least intriguing invitation I've received. An invitation which would only be proper courtesy for me to accept.
I'll take that as a yes.
Hey, where'd Kisara go? I don't see her anywhere.
Maybe she just needed some time alone. A lot's happened.
That makes sense. She did just lose her brother after all.
We ought to keep moving as well. So long as there are lords who draw breath, we have a mission to complete. Kisara's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself. We should hurry on ahead to our next destination.
I guess you're right. And it is a lot safer here than it was. What do you think, Dohalim?
I am not sure I have the right to say anything as far as Kisara is concerned.
Fair enough. Well, I, for one, would like to say goodbye if we get a chance. Let's keep an eye out for her as we leave.
What's Kisara going to do now?
I'm sure it's complicated for her.
How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No!
Where did Kisara run off to?
You don't think she took off after Kelzelik, do you?
No. Miguel entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danin lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without that. I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elda Menancia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elda Menancia Guard. So, in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzalik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renan than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt. Even though doing so meant defying Renan hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renans wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings. I sense a poor soul who is in dire need.
Sounds like art.
Right.
Excuse. Well.
Good.
What's your?
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our head.
This flavor? Why, it rivals the cooking of my own chefs in the palace.
I think Hoodle senses something.
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. They try to get in our way. We'll take them down and that'll be that.
Right, here goes! Here I come! Dragon Flow!
I'll thank you! Lightning away!
You're mine! You're fit! Showtime!
If they rush you, you gotta jump for cover, okay? Seal!
Far enough!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
charge like that could easily be
These
fatal.
little ones are hardly worth our
I'm
time.
here to
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Eat this! You're mine! It's over!
Your power is a spectacle to behold. Still, it's a part of you. Embrace it.
No complaints from me.
There's something... I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own...
How did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. There's a nice breeze here. Hup. Okay, change of plans. There we go. Dagnabbit! It got away. Is this what I think it is? I didn't think I'd catch something this big.
Remarkable. You're top of the food chain.
Now where might those fish be? All right. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
You sure know what you're doing.
Hey, what do you think about that spot?
Good idea.
I'll go for that one.
You're still not done fishing yet? Boring.
You need patience to fish. Hup. All right. I'll get you next time. Ha! All right, once more from the top. Yeah! All right. Anybody could reel in that.
That went pretty well.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just...
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey. Though, huh? How long do you think they're... Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Dragon Swarm! I'll take you all off! It's over!
Don't mind if I do. I never
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Lightning hit that flame of fury! Now!
Flush! Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Stalagmite!
Shattering of Where are you going? Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nothing gets by me!
Can't get out of this!
Wind astral
Now
energy!
you see what I can do!
Into
Can
the
you take
shadows!
it?
Denied!
Raging Cascade!
Not today!
Do it!
Take it!
Take it! In an instant! Impact Block!
We can really make weapons with this?
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart! When he slows down, that's our chance!
Leave the agile ones to me. Here, throbs in pain. Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray! This'll come in handy.
Eternal Devastation!
Mega Ray!
You're mine!
All right.
Swallow Blade!
Light astral
You're mine!
Can't get out of this! Resonate with the earth!
Now!
Stalagmite!
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Spirit Flame! Reload!
Eternal
Take
Devastation!
this! Can't get out of this! How
You're going pretty hard in this battle.
I am not usually given to restraint.
Swallow Blade!
Sometimes I believe you're stronger than you let on.
Raging Gemini Aqua!
Do it!
Not today!
Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Oh. Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
It must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sense a strange power from this.
Only the best materials in your gauntlets.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Out of our way!
Take this!
Water, here I come! Shiny
Now you see what I can do!
It's a duel of the arts! Feel, here's a healing arc!
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
See ya! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Shiny supernova!
The enemy wields
Where
arts
are you
too.
going? You'll soon see about that!
Dragon Form! I'm ready!
Now,
Remove!
astral energy!
Say no more!
We can really make weapons with this?
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're...
An opponent like this should be easy. No escape!
Not on my watch!
It's over!
I'll thank you.
Take this! Dragon Form! Got fire!
These enemies are funny!
Take all yours! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Form! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
I owe you one.
You're
You're mine! Come one, come all! Dragon Form!
This'll come in handy. And a
I'll smash you!
I'm only getting started. Magic is out!
Instant deity! I'll thank you.
Eternal devastation!
Didn't even break a sweat.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Dragon Form! Dragon Form! You're finished!
I'm not so good with airborne charges.
I'm not done! Burn in hell! Blue escape! Dragon Form!
Law, get toasty!
Burn strike!
Lightning condemned!
Not a chance! An astral arch?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! You're finished!
Denied! Lightning condemned! Hear me! Flame of fury! Burning strike! Glacial spear!
Can't get out of this! Take this!
Shattering lancer!
Pieces! Attack time!
Unleash! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
I'm in your debt, Queen.
And tonight's meal is on you. Keep going. Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclops!
I can feel my precision improving.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
Here I come! Eternal devastation! Burn!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
ensure you survive this! Dragon Form!
Lightning orb!
Take this! Begin!
Blazing cascade now!
Too fast!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
My turn! I'm not done!
Lunar raging storm!
Time to let it rip!
Let the marksman handle this!
Crush! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Ready! I never miss! Radiant not on my watch! Do it!
Let loose! Ringwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Certainly not.
This one's all mine!
Annihilation!
You picked the wrong fight! Here I come!
In here!
Shattering
those pieces!
I'm ready!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Dance in the wind! In here!
I can carve through armor! Swallow blade! You're mine! Take this! No further!
Do it!
Ringwell!
Astral energy!
Say no more! I can feel my power growing!
That equipment should come in handy.
More Danon runes here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had...
Right, here goes! I'm not done!
One more!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Swallow blade!
Lightning orb! Lightning condensed!
Here I come! Here I come! Dragon Form!
Wind astral energy!
You picked the wrong fight! Now I can let loose!
Did you just heal me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
I'm ready!
Right.
Annihilate! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
There!
Now! You're mine! It's over!
Leave the charges to me! Not in your dreams!
Can you take it?
Handle this.
Here I come!
So those are Danon Astral Arcs.
Escape!
Something you want to say?
Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
Smash you! I'm ready!
Ringwell! Frozen?
Hammer!
My fists are crushing it out there!
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here. Quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's that big tower over there?
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the ranch are all grown now.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
I may have exerted myself a little too much today.
Thanks for waiting. Eat as much as you like.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let... He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
See you tomorrow. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
In a bind?
Lightning orb! No, that can't stop me!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! My turn! I'm not done! Mirage!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see
You
about
picked the
that!
wrong fight! Take this!
I never miss!
Here I come!
Searing flame!
I'm ready! Finish!
Can you take
Into the shadows!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Swallow Blade!
Far enough!
Here I come!
Now you see what I can do!
Here goes! Lightning! Downfall!
dream!
Take this! Can you take it? I'm ready!
I must keep striving.
You can ease off yourself.
Pot calls the kettle black.
Good advice for all of us, to be honest.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? Said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
I never miss.
You're up!
Raging sword!
You picked the wrong line!
Got it.
Down!
Now's our chance. Sleep now.
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Go. I'm only getting started. I'm only getting
Turn out their station!
Heal! After being interrupted, now you see what I can do! And die in life. Enjoy!
This one's all mine!
Take it.
Take this! Eat
Show me your strength. Can you take it?
Lightning orb! Healing circle!
I'm in your debt. Die.
Dragon
Dragon
I'm
Form!
only getting light!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Not in your dreams! Hands in the wind!
Take this!
Primed and
Take
ready!
this!
Where are you going?
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you?
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Sword. Just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being an... Forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Danon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renins, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renins here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit, this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix. Not this way, I guess.
So you're Elfin, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
What, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quiet.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danons in this realm, is it not? If so,
Shut your
then—
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danons, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Oh. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of this show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you and that little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danon's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up! Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renin pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renans.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Beifan? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renans as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renans. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
I feel like somebody's watching us.
What's wrong? All right. Hey.
Yeah!
Good.
All right!
I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions. None of the Danans we've seen seem to question his consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niaz, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is... When you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan Lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him, too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niaz is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicent once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
I wonder if something happened.
Oh, right.
Hey!
Have you got... Guys, checked your... equipment lately? I'm impressed how... well balanced this thing is.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay it. Attention.